Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into something really fascinating. It's a story pulled from the diary entries of a scientist, originally penned by the great Satyajit Ray. Our mission, really, is to explore this scientist's quite audacious experiment. He dared to ask if human intelligence could actually be put into a bird. And, more importantly, what happened when he gave it a shot.
It's a fantastic starting point, isn't it? I mean, it challenges our basic ideas about what animals can do. We'll be looking at, well, not just what he saw, but what it all means, for intelligence itself. Is it fixed? Or can it be engineered, transferred? Get ready, because this might just change how you think about birds. And maybe cognition, too.
Okay, so before he even built anything, what was he thinking? What observations led him down this path? He starts off saying that skills are, and I'm quoting here, more pronounced and more startling in birds than in other creatures.
Right.
Gives examples, like the weaver bird's nest. He says it's so intricate a human would need months of ceaseless effort to copy it. And then there's the amazing navigation of migratory birds. The skill of eagles and falcons, a vulture's sense of smell, the gift of song.
Yeah, and what's really key there is he's acknowledging these incredible innate skills first. It sort of sets the stage for the big question. Okay, they can do this naturally, but how much more can they learn? Can we actually push past that? He's not just watching, he's wondering if you can actually instill human-like knowledge or even build a machine for it. That's the core idea driving him.
Right, and he actually goes ahead and builds it. He calls it a simple method, which seems ironic given the goal. He builds this thing, the Ornithon, 2 parts,
Well,
a cage for the bird, obviously, and then this other section designed to transmit intelligence to the bird's brain by means of electrodes.
that design. It really says a lot about his core belief, doesn't it? The idea that intelligence is transferable, almost like plugging something in. It's a bold hypothesis, to say the least. And before choosing his subject, the diary mentions he spent a whole month just watching birds in his lab. Common ones, crows, sparrows, pigeons, doves, parakeets.
Looking for the right candidate.
Exactly. Not just any bird would do.
And then he finds one, a particular crow. It had this tiny white spot under its right eye, easy to pick out.
Recognizable.
But that wasn't the main thing. It was the behavior. The scientist writes, I have never seen a crow hold a pencil in its beak and make marks on the table with it.
And that is just crucial right there. It suggests this crow, Corvus, already had something extra, a kind of curiosity maybe, a skill for manipulating things.
Yeah, a baseline intelligence, perhaps?
Possibly, some kind of cognitive flexibility. And he seemed eager. The moment the Ornithon was ready, Corvus apparently flew over and hopped inside.
Wow.
The scientist saw that as a sure sign that he is extremely eager to learn. So Corvus wasn't dragged into this, he was a participant.
Okay, so Corvus is in the machine. The teaching starts. The scientist figured, quite logically, that familiarity with language is essential for giving instructions. So he started with basic Bengali lessons. Pre-recorded, just press a button.
Simple enough.
But then he saw something.
Yeah.
Odd. He called it a strange thing. When a button was pressed, the crow's eyes would close, and it would just stop moving, completely still.
Stillness in a crow. That is strange. They're usually so fidgety.
Exactly. The scientist notes it was unusual indeed.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is that deep concentration, like focus, or is the machine itself causing that state, inducing receptiveness?
The diary doesn't really say, does it?
No, it leaves it open, but it makes you think about what learning means in this context. Anyway, later Corvus starts learning English. At first, he just turned his head when called. Basic response.
Right.
But then, the breakthrough. He replied vocally, not caw, but what?
What? From a crow?
Yeah. The scientist actually wasn't expecting speech to be Corvus's strong suit. He thought the intelligence would show more in his actions.
And boy, did it show in his actions. Just 2 weeks in, unexpected progress. Pencil and beak, Corvus starts writing. English words, numbers.
Writing? Okay, hold on.
Yeah. He wrote his own name. Corvus. In capitals. He could do simple sums, addition, subtraction, wrote the capital of England, even wrote the scientist's name. And when asked the day of the week, he apparently wrote Friday. Clearly.
Okay, this is where it gets really wild. Writing isn't just mimicking sounds. It requires understanding symbols, abstractions. It suggests he grasped language structure, maybe even numerical concepts.
It's way beyond just training a parrot to talk.
Absolutely. This points towards complex cognition.
Right.
But it wasn't just academic stuff either, right? There was the jelly incident.
Yes, the toasting guava jelly. Tell us about that.
Well, the scientists observed that every time Corvus took a piece of toast, he'd use his beak to smear some jelly on it first.
I like buttering bread.
Kind of. It shows adaptation, planning, making a deliberate choice to improve the experience, not just a reflex, using his new smarts pragmatically.
So it seems like more than just rote learning. But were there moments that really convinced the scientists this was genuine intelligence, not just programmed responses?
There were two key incidents, yeah. Really compelling ones. First, there was a massive storm, huge thunderclap, really loud. And this old simul tree in the garden gets struck by lightning, starts smoldering. Later, all the neighborhood crows gather around, making a huge racket like crows do.
Right, typical crow behavior, alarm, curiosity.
Exactly. But Corvus, he didn't leave my room at all, completely ignored the commotion.
What was he doing instead?
He had a pen in his beak and was writing prime numbers.
Prime numbers.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. Just absorbed in this abstract mathematical task while his species was reacting instinctively outside.
Wow, that detachment, it's significant.
Hugely significant. It's a just focus, abstract thought, a complete disconnect from typical bird reactions. The scientists of inclusion. Corvus had, quote, spontaneously acquired what can only be termed human intelligence.
Spontaneously acquired.
And there's another example. The scientist was packing for a trip to Santiago.
For the conference, right?
Exactly. And he finds Corvus just standing there holding the key to the suitcase in his beak.
Like, here you go, you'll need this.
Pretty much. That's not following an order. That's anticipation. Understanding purpose. Problem solving, maybe. It feels intuitive.
Incredible. So with all this evidence, the scientist feels ready. Ready to show Corvus to the world, or at least the scientific world. He says a bird as intelligent and educated as Corvus is unique in history.
Hard to argue with that based on these accounts.
He's written paper on the priceless knowledge he's gained. And he thinks Corvus himself will be the one to silence my critics at this ornithologist conference in Santiago, Chile.
Which was a big deal. He notes that never has a live bird been used in a demonstration at these things before.
Setting the stage for a major reveal.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't just show and tell with a clever bird. This is meant to shake the foundations. It's a direct challenge to existing ideas about animal minds. His confidence really shows he believes Corvus has crossed some kind of threshold into, well, something previously thought uniquely human.
So we've journeyed through this incredible story. Corvus, starting as just a crow with a white spot, maybe a bit curious, transformed into this writing, calculating, apparently problem-solving creature, all seen through this scientist's experiment.
Yeah, and this deep dive, it really leaves you pondering, doesn't it? If this machine, the Ornithon, could theoretically grant these abilities, and if a crow could develop something the scientists genuinely saw as human-like intelligence, what does that imply about consciousness itself, about intelligence, maybe the gaps we perceive between species? Maybe they aren't as vast or as fixed as we always assumed. It certainly gives you something to think about.